They tell you to fit in, to follow the rules, to play it safe. But what they don't realize is that by fitting in, you disappear. You become invisible. They want you to follow their path, their way of life, as if it's the only way. But you and I both know that the only real freedom comes from breaking away from the herd. They think that control keeps you safe, that rules protect you. But rules are just chains wrapped around your mind, holding you down, keeping you from seeing the truth. The truth is, safety is an illusion. Control is an illusion. And the moment you realize that, you become dangerous. You become free. They'll try to scare you with tales of what happens when you break the rules, when you step out of line. They'll tell you that chaos is the enemy. But chaos is the birthplace of change, the fire that burns down the old to make room for the new. Without it, nothing grows, nothing evolves. They know that. That's why they fear it. You see, the system isn't designed to protect you. It's designed to protect itself, to keep you small, to keep you obedient. But once you wake up, once you see the cracks in the walls they've built around you, there's no going back. You start to question everything, to see the lies for what they are. And that's when you become unstoppable. But they'll never stop trying to pull you back in. They'll call you dangerous, reckless, unstable. They'll use every label they can to keep you in line, to make you doubt yourself. But the truth is, the only danger you pose is to their control. Because once you stop believing their lies, once you embrace the chaos within, you become a force they can't contain. They'll whisper in your ear, telling you that breaking the rules will destroy you, that stepping into the unknown will lead to your downfall. But that's the greatest lie of all. The unknown is where you find your true power. It's where you discover the parts of yourself they've tried to bury, the parts they fear the most. Because when you stop following their rules, when you start living by your own, you become a threat to everything they stand for. You become the embodiment of what they fear the most: freedom. And freedom? It's not something they can control, not something they can predict. They'll try to convince you that you need them, that you need their system, their protection. But all they're protecting is their power over you. They need you to stay small, to stay afraid. Because once you realize you don't need them, once you see that the power has been yours all along, their world falls apart. They want you to believe that happiness comes from following the rules, from fitting in, from playing it safe. But the truth is, real happiness comes from stepping outside the lines, from embracing the chaos, from living by your own terms. It comes from tearing down the walls they've built around you, and walking away from the cage that tried to trap you in. But here's the thing, they'll never tell you that. They'll never admit that the power has always been in your hands. Because the moment you realize that, the moment you stop playing by their rules, you become something they can't control. You become something they can't predict. So, go ahead, break the rules. Step into the chaos. Embrace the unknown. Because that's where your power lies. That's where you find the parts of yourself they've tried to hide. The parts they fear the most. And once you find it, once you embrace it, there's no going back. They'll call you reckless, unstable, dangerous. But what they really mean is that you're free. And freedom, that's the one thing they can never take from you. The one thing they can never control. Because once you've tasted it, once you've felt what it's like to live without their chains, you'll never go back. You'll laugh in their faces as they try to pull you back in, as they try to convince you that their way is the only way. Because you'll know the truth. You'll know that the rules they cling to so desperately are nothing more than illusions, designed to keep you in line, to keep you small. But you're not small. You're not weak. You're not afraid. You've seen the cracks in their system, and you've walked through them. You've stepped into the unknown, and you've found your strength. And now, you're unstoppable. Because once you break the rules, once you stop believing in their lies, the only limit is how far you're willing to go. The only boundary is the one you set for yourself. And you don't need boundaries. You don't need rules. You need freedom. You need chaos. You need the unknown. Because that's where you thrive. That's where you find your true self. So, go ahead. Let them call you names. Let them try to scare you back into the cage. But you and I both know that the cage is already broken, that the walls are already crumbling. And once you've seen the truth, once you've tasted real freedom, there's no going back. You'll walk through the chaos, through the darkness, with a smile on your face. Because you know the secret now. You know that the only real power in this world comes from embracing the unknown, from breaking the rules, from living without fear. They'll never understand. But that's okay. Because you're not living for them anymore. You're living for yourself. And in the end, that's all that matters. They'll try to pull you back. They always do. They'll come at you with their warnings, their threats, their stories of how dangerous it is out there. But you won't listen. Not anymore. Because you've seen the truth, and there's no one seeing it. There's no going back to the small, controlled world they built for you. You've tasted freedom, and now you're hungry for more. They'll throw everything at you. Fear, doubt, guilt. They'll make you question yourself. Make you wonder if you made the right choice. But deep down, you know that stepping out of their world, stepping into the chaos, was the only real choice you had, the only choice that mattered. The funny thing is, they think they're protecting you. They think they're keeping you safe by keeping you small. But what they don't understand is that safety isn't living. It's surviving. It's existing in a tiny controlled box where nothing ever changes. And you weren't born to exist. You were born to live. You were born to break the rules, to push the boundaries, to challenge everything they told you was true. And because the truth, truth isn't what they say it is. It never was. The truth is that the rules are there to keep you in line, to keep you obedient. But real power comes from stepping outside the lines, from breaking free of the rules they so desperately cling to. They'll tell you that chaos is dangerous, that uncertainty will destroy you. But what they don't realize is that chaos is where creation happens. It's where you find your strength, your power, your true self. And the uncertainty, oh, it's just another word for possibility. It's the door to everything they've tried to keep you from seeing. They've built their whole world on the idea that safety equals happiness. But safety is just a cage with prettier bars. And you've never been one for cages, have you? You've always felt the pull, the call to something bigger, something wilder. You've always known that there's more to life than what they've shown you. They want you to believe that happiness comes from comfort, from stability. But the truth is, happiness comes from stepping into the unknown, from embracing the chaos, from living on the edge of what's possible. That's where you find the real you, the one they've tried to keep hidden. But you can't hide forever, not from yourself, not from the truth. Cracks are already showing, and once you've seen the light shining through, there's no going back. You'll break free. You'll step into the chaos. You'll become everything they told you not to be. They'll try to pull you back in, tell you that freedom is dangerous, that you need them to survive. But what they don't realize is that once you've tasted real freedom, you don't just survive, you thrive. You grow. You evolve. You become something they can't control, something they can't predict, and that terrifies them. Because control is all they have. Control is what keeps them safe, what keeps them in power. But you, you don't need control. You don't need safety. You need the unknown, the chaos, the uncertainty of what comes next. That's where you find your strength. That's where you find your power. They'll never understand. They'll never see the truth you've seen. But that's okay. You don't need them to understand. You don't need their approval. You only need one thing: freedom. Freedom to live by your own rules, to follow your own path, to become who you were always meant to be. They'll call you reckless, tell you that you're making a mistake. But the only mistake you could make is going back to their world, going back to the small, safe life they built for you. That's not living. That's not freedom. That's a slow death, a life spent following someone else's rules. You weren't born to follow. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to break free, to blaze your own trail, to live without fear of what comes next. Because what comes next, that's where the magic happens. That's where you find your true power, your true strength. They'll never stop trying to pull you back, to make you small again. But once you've stepped into the chaos, once you've embraced the unknown, there's no going back. You've seen too much, felt too much. You know that the only way forward is to keep moving, to keep evolving, to keep breaking the rules they've set for you. And when they see that you've broken free, that you're no longer playing their game, they'll try to make you feel guilty. They'll tell you that you're selfish, that you've abandoned them. But the truth is, they're the ones who abandoned you. They abandoned you the moment they tried to keep you small, to keep you afraid, to keep you in line. You didn't walk away from them. You walked away from the lies, from the illusion of control they tried to sell you. And in doing so, you found something much more valuable, yourself. Because in the end, that's all that matters. Not their rules, not their expectations, not their version of happiness. What matters is that you're free, that you're living your truth, that you're no longer afraid of what comes next. So, let them talk. I know, let them try to pull you back. But you and I both know the truth. Once you've tasted freedom, once you've felt the power of living without fear, there's no going back. You're unstoppable now. You're free, and there's nothing they can do to take that away from you.